In this video, I'm showing you the exact process that I use to write top 1% copy. I've written copy for the last 12 years that's generated more than $500 million in sales for clients. There's only 3 very simple steps. This is the first one. So this is a new approach to writing copy that changes everything. It is highly unlikely that you have ever come across this before because it is a high-level concept that you don't learn in other free copywriting courses or a lot of the basic information that is out there. This is very, very, very impactful and very powerful stuff because it ties into human psychology, into human behavior, and how people buy. So as you can see here, there's 3 very simple steps. The first one is understanding the stage of awareness that you're writing to, or as I've got here, the SOA. The second step is understanding that everybody's got to go through the stages of awareness in order. So your copy needs to align with that depending on who it is that you're writing to. And then the third step is answering 3 very, very simple questions. So if you haven't come across the stages of awareness before, this is from Eugene Schwartz and his phenomenal book, Breakthrough Advertising. If you are a copywriter that hasn't consumed it yet, go and get it. It is one of the 3 top books that I have ever read that have nothing to do with copywriting and have impacted my ability to write top 1% copy. It's incredibly expensive because it's not in publication anymore, but you can also go and get summaries of it that give you the overview and give you what it is that you need from it. So if you don't want to pay $200 for the book, but I recommend that you do, just go and search and there'll be summaries for it with the key pieces for you. But as you can see here, there's 5 different stages of awareness of someone. So they can be completely unaware. They can be aware that they have a problem. They can be aware that there's a solution out there to their problem. They can be aware that products exist that have those solutions, and then there can be people that are most aware, which is I'm simply shopping around for the best deal. So as you can see here in the brackets, we use other terminology in marketing like a cold audience, a warm audience, a hot audience. So I've got there how each of these different stages of awareness falls into one of those buckets. So if someone's completely unaware, as in they don't even know they have a problem yet, they're incredibly cold. And if someone's aware that they have a problem, but just that they have a problem, they go, fuck, my life sucks, like I've got this problem, they're still pretty cold. We also call, from a human decision-making framework perspective, those people are in a mode of discovery. They're discovering things about themselves and discovering that there are other options out there for them, or that solutions exist for them. So they're still discovering and in information gathering mode. Then the solution aware and the product aware people are what we'd consider warm. They know they have a problem, and sometimes they might even know that the solutions exist, but they're in a consideration phase. They're considering what it is that they want to do. They're considering if they want a solution and if they're going to take that solution. And then they're considering what different products are available that help them solve the problem that they have. Then the most aware people, which is about 3% of the market, it's those people that are ready to buy right now. They're very hot. And as we said, they just want the best offer. They want to know pricing and all of those things. So you need to understand the stages of awareness so that you can write to these specific people, because at each different stage, there's a different kind of copy that is going to speak to those people. And I'll cover that in step number 3. But right now, you just need to understand these 5 different stages of awareness, and that different people are at a different stage depending on where they are in their own buying journey for whatever it is that you're writing about. Okay? Step number 2, understand that everybody's got to go through those stages of awareness in order. So that's the only reason that people use different hooks, different titles, and vary the length of their copy. It depends on who it is that they're speaking to. I did an extensive video breakdown, it's almost an hour, of the entire school games funnel that Alex Hormozi is running at the moment with Sam Ovens. And if you're a part of school and you go to like the weekly Q&As on a Monday, Alex actually broke down and said, this is why I did the VSL this way. And this is why there's so many different hooks in the first 60 seconds, is because we're speaking to a problem-aware audience. So these people know they have a problem, but that's it. So we're casting such a big net, and then the VSL has to go and make those problem-aware people solution-aware, and then they've got to make them solution-aware, product-aware, and the product here is school. And then we need to make them most aware, which is that they want to hear the offer that we have so that they can take us up on it. So that's the reason that their VSL is set up that way. Then if you look at someone like the School Masterclass with Max Persson, they're going after people that are product aware, if not most aware, which is why they start with a screen share of a Google Doc and it's like, hey, this is what you get. Because they're speaking to a different audience. So the VSL's a lot shorter and it's just 100% value driven. They're not trying to paint problems and show people solutions, because they understand the stage of awareness and they're meeting people where they're at. And depending on where their starting point is, they're just moving people to the next logical step. So if we're starting down at a real cold audience of unaware, we've got to make people problem aware, and then solution aware, and then product aware, and then most aware in the piece of copy that we're writing, which is why long form sales copy is typically so long, because it's written for an unaware or a problem aware audience. It's why some pieces of content are much longer. And it's why also some pieces of content are much shorter, because someone might say, hey, I'm speaking to a problem-aware person in this piece of content or this email, and I just want to make them solution-aware. I just want to take them one step. This piece of content, this email, this landing page, I just want them to take one step, and that's it. So we need to understand the stages of awareness, and then we need to understand that everybody's got to go through them in the sequential order. There's no jumping phases here. Some people will go through phases faster than others, but that's depending on the type of person that they are and how they like to buy. But what you've got here is that you need to understand that it's about shifting beliefs. That's copywriting at the fundamental level. I'm aligning with a belief that my reader currently has, and then I'm going to stretch that belief just enough to include the new belief that I want them to have and now hold. So like how in the stages of awareness, it's like a transcend and include. It's like a babushka doll. We go from unaware and then we become problem aware and the unaware stays in there. And then we become solution aware, but we're still aware of the problem. And then we become product aware and we're aware of the solution and the problem. So it's the same here with beliefs. It's not something entirely new. It's transcending the old belief, but also including the old belief. This is why if we stretch the belief too far, people don't go along with it, and you lose the reader and you lose them taking action, or you lose the sale because you've tried to stretch the belief too far. But if you don't stretch it enough, then they're not going to feel uncomfortable, dissatisfied, frustrated, or excited and joyous and take action, because they're not going to take on the new belief, because it doesn't feel like a new belief. It just feels like the old belief and a tiny bit different. So we can see here that more aware audiences, so we're thinking about product aware, we're thinking about solution aware, and we're thinking about most aware people here, they require less shifting in their beliefs and more promises and offers. So the copy is going to promote and fixate on that. Where less aware audiences, you need to shift their beliefs a heck of a lot more. You need to shift their belief that they have a problem and it's incredibly painful, and it's the reason they're experiencing all of the different pains and problems that they are in their life. And then you need to shift it again, that a solution actually exists and that it works for them and that it actually works in reality. And then you need to shift it again to say that this is the best product that's going to help you get that solution that you want, that's going to help you solve the problem that you're currently experiencing. So there's a lot more shifting of beliefs, and therefore a lot more proof of concept that it works needs to be in there, a lot more testimonials, a lot more pointing. Look at this, look at this, look at this, look at this, and a little less talking, more than promises and offers. So like 80% is going to be around shifting the beliefs, pointing instead of talking, proving that the concept works, and then 20% on the back end is going to be, if you've done your job and people get there, then you hit them with the promise, you hit them with the offer, and if they're ready, I'll take action. Okay, the third step is answering these three questions, and it's so simple. The first one is, who am I writing to? As in, what is their stage of awareness? Am I writing to someone that's unaware? Am I writing to someone that's problem aware? Solution aware, product aware, or most aware. Now, what is it that I'm trying to say? Here, what I want to do is I want to focus on the rule of one, which means one big idea, and this is any piece of copy. So this is an email, this is a piece of content, this is a video, this is a VSL, it's a YouTube video, it's a piece of sales copy, it's a full funnel, it's a landing page, any of those things. It's one big idea, one compelling story that showcases the idea, one aroused emotion that we want to get people in so that they take action, one desirable benefit, the most beneficial one, the most impactful, the most powerful one for them, and then one very simple call to action. The reason for this is that allows people to focus, it allows the message to resonate with them, it will magnetize them, and it removes any complexity and confusion, because a confused mind says no every single time. So if you are focusing on a lot of different things, then it's word vomit, it's word salad, and people might be like, I don't quite understand what this is trying to say, because we're throwing everything at the wall and seeing what sticks. We're taking a shotgun approach instead of a sniper approach. So we focus on one of each of these things. The reason it's an aroused emotion, it's not anything sexual, it is just the state of that emotion in the body. Because think of it, have you ever taken action when you're depressed, or you're angry, or you're upset and disappointed? No, you get stuck in those. But when you're frustrated, when you're agitated, now we're in a state that I'm ready to take action because I want this to change and I feel like I can change it. And on the positive side, when we're content, when we're happy, we're not going to take action. But when we're excited, when we feel ambition and we're driven and we're experiencing a state of awe, like, oh my God, that's when we're going to be more inclined to take action. So we focus on one of those emotions and we tie the story into creating that emotion and the big idea into creating that emotion and the benefit tied in with that emotion too. We're focusing on one single thing, one very simple journey, one very easy to identify concept in this piece of copy for people, so they're going to resonate with it. Okay? The other reason that we don't want to try and do more than one thing at a time is that when we do, oftentimes later in the copy, you'll introduce something new and the person reading it is like, oh, okay, I didn't think about this. And we lose them. We lose the train of thought. They're not really on the slippery slide anymore going down. There's a little bump in the road and they have to think about something new coming in. So we want to introduce the one thing at the top and then we want it to slide and flow easily without introducing new ideas or new concepts further down the copy. Okay? So first question, who am I writing to? What's their stage of awareness? Second question, what am I trying to say? So it's my one big idea, my one compelling story, my one aroused emotion, my one desirable benefit, and my one simple call to action. And now how am I going to say it? And this is really simple too, because for each of the different 5 stages of awareness, there is a specific lead or focus point for the copy that speaks to them the most. So if they're unaware, you hit them with a story. And the story then makes them problem aware, and then it makes them solution aware, and then it makes them problem aware, and then it hits them with the offer. If they're problem aware, you want to tease a secret. You'd be like, here's the reason that you're experiencing this problem, because they know they have a problem, but they don't know that solutions exist. If they're solution aware, you want to put the problem in their face. This is where if you are advertising fire extinguishers, you start with the goddamn fire. Okay? So you put the problem in the headline, in the email subject line, in the hook, in the video title, in the first line of the copy. Like, you put that problem everywhere. If they're product aware, you hit them with the biggest promise and the best promise that you can. And you put that in the email subject line, in the first line, in the title, in the thumbnail, in the heading. Like, you put it everywhere for them, in the creative. And if they're most aware, then you hit them with the offer, because the thing that they're thinking about is what's in it for me and what is the value that I get from it versus the investment that I make. And that's where you focus on, and that's where you start. That's how simple and easy it is. Okay? Getting it right, that's where repetitions come in. But this is the framework, because every single piece of copy that you write should be written to one person and one person only. So you need to identify what is the stage of awareness there. Then figure out what your one things are, and then depending on who you're writing to, this is the focus of your copy and where you start and how far you need to lead them to depending on what your end goal is. So if it's sales copy, the goal is to get them here, most aware, and hit them with the offer. Depending on where they're starting, you have different steps to take to get them there. If your goal is just, hey, we want people to become more aware of the product, then they're going to be somewhere here. And again, depending on where you're starting and who you're speaking to, there's different number of steps for you to take. If it's like we're speaking to a cold audience on social media and we want to make them aware that they have a problem, well then we're going to start here. But if it's like, oh, we want to make them aware that there's a solution that exists and it's our solution, then we're likely going to start here. Okay, it's very, very simple, and then you're going to use your copywriting skills to write the headline, to write the hook, to write the lead, to write the email subject line, knowing that the intent is this specific thing. So if it's the email subject line, the intent is for the email to get opened. If it's the headline, it's to pattern interrupt, capture attention and get someone to read the next thing. If it's a YouTube video, the hook's about capturing attention and getting them to watch the rest of the video. So giving them a promise, something that they're going to get that's valuable, that they're interested in, if they are to consume the rest. If it's an ad, we know that the objective of the ad is to get the link click so that they go to the next thing. Like, it then comes back to what is the intent, what's the specific intent of this piece of copy that I'm writing. Okay. If you enjoyed this video and you found value from it, please like the channel, subscribe to it so that you're notified when the 2 videos drop each week. They drop every Wednesday and every Sunday here in Australia. Thank you for being here with us. I appreciate you, and I'll see you on the next video.